Hey guys, so today I'm going to be talking about my college experience and how I felt during certain parts of it and why. And I just want to help anyone who's going into college to kind of know what to expect. And everybody's college experience is very different. I had a little bit of a rougher one, I would say, but it turned out great. I ended up loving it, and it just depends on a lot. And I'm going to kind of get into that later in the video, but I'm going to be talking about the fall and the spring semesters. I'm going to be talking about the fall semester first and then the spring semester after. So let's get into the video. Alright, so the fall semester. I'm going to talk about move-in day first. It was so stressful. You are moving into a new place. I felt like I was going to throw up the entire ride there. You're leaving your family and you know it, and you're concerned about your roommate, and it's a stressful day. You get through it, but it's very stressful. And you shouldn't be. It shouldn't be stressful, and it is upsetting to leave your family, but it's not as stressful as you think it should be. I'm going to talk about my roommate a little bit. So I really liked my roommate. We were randomly selected. You could write on Facebook in the class of 2019 group saying, oh, my name is Haley, I snowboard, I do cheerleading, and I did track in high school, and I like a neat room and things like that. And you could chat with people and decide if you wanted to live with that person or not, and you could select people to room with. I didn't end up doing that. I kind of wish that I did, just so that I would have ended up with someone that I could relate better to. I mean, I loved my roommate. She was great. We went to the gym, we had dinner, but we were a little bit on different pages, and she's a great person and a great friend, but I don't know, I wish that I went the other route, not because of her, but just in general, I think that would have been beneficial. I recommend talking to anyone in that. I assume most schools have those groups, so I would talk to as many people as possible to try to get to know people before you get there. I didn't do that, and I really wish that I did. Okay, so my first semester, I did not like it at all. I missed home. I wanted to go home every day. I went home basically every weekend because I only live an hour away from my school. I did not enjoy it whatsoever. I felt very alone. I didn't make any friends. I'm not really one to approach people. Now I am, but it's harder when you're in a new place at first. So I didn't really get to know that many people. Alright, so my camera just died, so I'm gonna try and remember where I was. But let's see, so my first semester I did not like it. I didn't make very many friends, I didn't approach that many people, and I wasn't as involved as I would like to have been. My first semester I was in the elementary education club. There's a lady walking her dog outside my window. So my first semester, some of the things that I was involved in was the elementary education club, a poetry and art magazine I was a copy editor for. I was the secretary of student sustainability committee. I was in the snowboard club and the Be Fit club. So those were the clubs that I was involved in on campus. I would think I was pretty involved for a freshman, but I was not involved as I would like to have been. I had a lot of time where I was sitting in my room watching Netflix, and any alone time that I had, it made me really not like school. When I was busy, it didn't give you much time to think about it. But yeah, it just was overall not a great experience for me. Some ways that I would recommend fixing that problem in your first semester is to approach people, knock on their doors, say, hi, I'm Haley, or whatever your name is, and just talk to them. Just try and get to know them. And then just try to be as involved as possible. Talk to as many people as you want. And you're not the only one that is worried to approach people. I felt like everyone else had friends. They had their set group of friends, so why would they want to talk to me? And everybody else is in the same boat, and most of the time people want another friend in their little group. So I would not worry about it, and I would really try to do that. Another reason, and that's not all to not approaching people, my negative experience was not because I didn't approach people that wasn't the only reason. It was also because I ended up in a dorm where it was mostly people in sports, so they already had their group set for weeks already. And I do not do a sport in school, so it was really hard to get to know them because they weren't interested, which is fine. But that I had a lot of trouble with. I wasn't in an actual, like, in a all freshman dorm with just your average people kind of thing. So I really wish that I would have gotten into one of those dorms. But yeah, so that's that. And then my spring semester, or let's back it up to the fall again. I applied to be an RA. I saw an ad about how this person, I actually ended up working with this person, he was talking about how he got out of his shy shell through the RA position. And I love to be involved, and I can talk to people, but I can talk to people when they're interested. So it's very hard. It was hard to make friends, but I felt that I could make a great RA. So I applied, and I didn't get it, but I was pooled. It means you're thrown into like a pool of people who they liked, but they didn't have enough positions to hire. And then once the fall semester was over, there was winter break, and so I just waited. I was trying to figure something out to do. I was either going to transfer, I was going to work until I figured out what I wanted to do and things like that. I didn't know what I wanted to do, but a few days before I had to go back, I got a call, and I was hired. I was picked from the pool, and I was to go to school immediately, and I actually didn't feel any hesitation about going home immediately. I mean, I did a little bit, but I was so excited. It was something new, and it made the difference for me. And in the fall semester, I took an INTD course, which is just like a course to get you oriented to be an RA, because you have to have that course before you can be one. And there was this girl in my class, and I really liked her. I felt that we were similar on different levels, and we hadn't talked that much, but like, I don't know, I just felt that way. And I was hired in the building that she was, and we've become really close friends, and I am so thankful for that. I'm so thankful for her. My second semester being an RA, by forcing other people to be involved, well, not forcing, but by encouraging other people to be involved, it encouraged me to be involved, and it really changed my whole experience. I went to all different events with people I actually knew and people that I actually talked to, and the staff was really great, and you got to know everybody in the building, because I come from a small town, so I'm used to knowing everybody, but by knowing everyone in the building, it kind of fixed that. So I would go to things with these people that I knew and the people on the staff, and it helped me to get to know other people and make my own friends, and I am so thankful for that. My fall semester, I remember going to a Halloween social, and I was by myself, but I wanted to go, and I was sitting in my room, and I was like, I don't know if I should go, because I don't know anybody at all, and, but I want to go because, I might meet somebody. I didn't, but, like, I went anyway, and it was fun, and I was proud of myself for going, but it wasn't, I don't know, it just wasn't good. I don't know. I don't know how to explain it. Like, it wasn't fun because I didn't know anybody, and I felt like the awkward person that was the only one who was there by themselves. And I didn't want the RAs to know that, because at the time I was applying to be an RA, so I didn't want them to know that I was, didn't know anybody. But it turns out a lot of the RAs were in the same boat that I was. They had trouble adjusting and things like that, but the RA job helped them do that. But I went to events the spring semester, and I got inducted into National Honor Society, and I was put up on a voting poll to become the BFIT treasurer, and I can't believe where I started and where I left from, but I think, I don't know, it's hard for me to explain everything, but I'm gonna go into some tips right now about things that I would do to make sure that you don't have an initial college experience like me. So my first tip would be to approach people. I would knock on people's doors. I would talk to as many people as possible and just, say hi, and ask them where they're from. Asking where you're from is actually a really good tactic, because if you know where people are from, you can be like, oh yeah, I've been there, it's really cool. And, just talk about stuff, and even if it's little stuff, talk about it, it's okay. It's totally fine. I would talk to anyone that you possibly can. My situation, I was not really able to because I was in a hallway with all sports people and they weren't interested. So that made it a little more difficult, but I did make a few friendships through some of my classes by talking to people my fall semester, and I'm still friends with a few of them this semester, my spring semester. So definitely approach people in your classes, in your hallway. If people aren't receptive to you approaching them, then find another place to approach them. And so that was me. I couldn't approach people really in my hall, so I approached people in my classes, and that worked relatively well. And I also approached people in clubs as well. My second tip would be to get more involved. Be as involved as possible because it gives you less time to think about not being home. You can find things that you love to do. You can meet people with similar interests. It's just a really great experience to try and do that. My third tip is to don't be afraid to run for different positions in clubs. Just because you're a freshman, it doesn't matter. People don't care. They will vote for who they want to vote for because they're better for the position. I ran for, well, one of them was just kind of given to me because there aren't many people in the club, but we've been trying to grow the population of the club. But I applied for different positions in different clubs because NRHH you have to apply for and be accepted, and I did that and was accepted, and then I ran for treasurer and I got treasurer. And it doesn't matter if you're a freshman. It's all that matters is that you're interested and that you would do a great job with the position. And one thing that I also did was I talked to a lot of the e-board members, which are just kind of they're like president, vice president, treasurer, secretary kind of positions. I would talk to those individuals in my clubs and get to know them the first semester. And I did that just because, I don't know, they were someone to talk to, I guess. So I would just go up and talk to them, you know, not everybody, but a few people. And it helped me to get to know them. And I think that may have helped me a little bit down the road trying to get into, to try to get onto the e-board. So that was really helpful. Unintentional, but helpful. My fourth tip is to call your family as much as you want. Don't be afraid to call your family. Don't be afraid to go home. I know some people can't always go home, but go home if you want to go home. It's fine. It's okay. I don't think it's possible to have an exceptional first semester. I don't think it's possible. It might be for some people, which is great. I mean, props to you, but most people don't enjoy their first semester. Second semester, you can really turn things around, and you can figure out what you did wrong and what you did right, and just try to figure that kind of stuff out. But I think it would be really helpful to just try, just don't be afraid. Just do whatever you want to do, and it'll be okay. I guess that's it for this video. I don't really know if it was helpful, but I just wanted to talk to you guys a little bit about my college experience. I definitely will answer any questions that you guys have down in the comments. I would love to answer your questions and maybe even do a follow-up video. I would just really like to help you guys with college and trying to make it a better experience because I had a very hard one. So, well, my first semester at least.